You are looking live. We are live today from Daytona Beach, Florida. It's Rob and Maria trading today. This is Rob Hummock live from the trading desk. We are going to have some fun today, and we're going to do some trades. Let me turn this down. We are live from the trading desk, and you are looking live. We're going to have some fun today. All right. We have got a bunch of people in the chat room. Let's take a look and see who's in here. Anybody in the chat room at all? I can see there's a lot of people in there. Where are they? Where are they? We should have more people in the chat room. Here they come. Here they come. We got people in the chat room, but I got nobody in the chat. I got people watching, but I got nobody in the chat. Here we go. There's Maria's here. There's Maria's first. Yay for Maria. We are getting ready to go here. Hello, there we are. There's a bunch of people coming into the chat room. Good for you. Glad to see you. We are going to have some fun today. Like I said, we're going to be trading live. We're also going to do something that's kind of unusual that no one does on the internet. We are going to let you pick who's going to be, whether they're going to do a put credit spread or call credit spread tonight. I need to start a poll. Let's do this here. So ask a question. PCS or CCS at 1551. And the answers are going to be make, Rob, sell, 3 PC, put, credit, spreads, or we're going to say make, Rob, sell, 3 call credit spreads. We're going to put this on in just a few minutes. And when we do, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to buy 3 call credit spreads, or I'm going to buy 3 put credit spreads based on what you recommend. You owe me $485, by the way, because yesterday that's what I lost when you told me to do whichever one you told me to do. Now, if you're new to the channel, we are on Monday through Friday at 3:25. We normally make plus or minus $12,000 in the last 9 minutes. Not this week. We do give you all of our trades every Sunday, or most of our trades every Sunday night at 6 p.m. We run 2 accounts in here. We run a $1 million account and a $30,000 account. Everybody likes to see where we are in those accounts. So I'll just show you. So here's the profit in the $1 million account. As you can see, we've made about $427,000 on 15,000 trades since October 1st. And then in the $30,000 account, we've made $13,000 on 2,701 trades. So we're going to be doing 200 trades today. Let's take a look where we are in real time. In order to figure this out, you're going to have to bear with me. I will get this on here. So in order to figure this out, we take the green and we subtract out the red. It looks like we're up about 30 grand right now, having done around 150, 155 trades so far today. And here we are in the small account, and we're up like, what is it, $1,400, and we've done 7 or 8 trades in that particular account today. Like I said, we give you all those trades every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Every Sunday night at 6 p.m. right here in the channel. Maria and I are on together, and we'll give you the results of the prior week, like I said, and you can see where we are. Let's take a look at my personal trading account. Here's where we are. For those of you that don't know, I do basically just 2 things. I do SPX 0dte, about 30 to 40,000 of those a year. And then I do what we call the Crazy Ivan, which is a naked put in the NQs. And I do those, whenever there's a down day. I used to do them every day at 10:30. And I put them on at 12 delta at 45 to 60 DTE. I take them out at 25% profit. Takes about 14 days. And they make about 100% rate of return. I've been doing that for 6 years. Last year, our total rate of return was about 52%. So we had a bit of a rough year, but that's okay. We're doing quite a bit better this year. As obviously, those 2 accounts that I've showed you, one of them, the $1 million account, is up about 110% annual rate of return, and the $30,000 account is up about 115% rate of return. So you can see that all of these are over 25%. If I'd followed my own rules, I would have closed all of these, but I did not because I'm freaking greedy. There, you're going to hear some SPX trades coming on, and that's all just the robot's going to be trading those things. Let me see if I can turn that down a little bit. So here we go. Let's take a look and see what I did today. Here's the last 7 days of the Crazy Ivans. And you can see I was buying to close some of these back on February 25th, and I was closing them in the 130s. Then I was buying some just scalping for fun. And then I was buying to close at $95, and then I started selling them to open because we have a down day. Down days, I'm selling them for 200. Remember, I'm buying them back for 100, selling them for 200. So you buy them for 100, and then you buy them for 100, then you sell them for 200. That's a $100 profit, 100% or 50%, depending on how you look at it, I guess. And then so I'm selling for 200, 220, whatever. 240, 260. These are selling to open. I'm selling these for 260, 265. I found somebody that was crazy enough to give me $285. That's why we call them crazy, because they just get crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier. And then I started closing, right? So now I started closing. I got 285. So now I started closing at 184. I closed some at 118. I closed some at 137. What else did I close? I closed some at 136. I closed some at 118, and this is a trading. So let's do some trading, shall we? So right now, this market is up 300. These are the Qs. You can't see, but that's the Qs. And so we're up. I always go by the Qs because that's where Maria's. My wife is a former banker, and she did a bunch of back testing on it. She was able to take 1.8 million our first year of trading options, and she turned it into 7.6. I very quickly turned it into 5.3, but it still made about $4 million our first year trading options. So she's the one that does all the math, not me. We never buy puts. No, we sell puts. We actually buy puts when we're closing them out. That's Maria. You can tell by certain text message sounds. That's Maria telling me we never buy puts, but that's true. We do buy puts when we're closing. So that's what we're doing there. That's what I meant to say. So, okay, let's go ahead and close some of these bad boys out. What are my working orders? Right now, my working orders, I just got one left in the queue. So that's not true. I got a couple here. All right, so 109, 127, no, 135. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take this working order. We're going to go ahead and replace this order, and let's see what's the spread. Where is this thing? Here we go. Here's the spread, 147 to 151. What am I trying to get? 135, and the midpoint is. So let's do this. Let's say that we'll give them one. How about 42? Tyler and I, my son and I love 42, so we'll take 41, 41, 50 because I like to take 50 cents and give it to my dog. We have a dog named Barbie, and we like to give her little treats and toys. And if you ever need to use, we use Options Omega for our back testing and for our robots. Everything is done through AI, through millions of back tests every single weekend. All of our trades are decided on by AI. All of them put on by bots. The bots and the AI and the back testing are Options Omega. The brokerage we use is Schwab and Tasty Trade. And then the AI we use is the $20 version of ChatGPT. And Maria spent about 9 months building Vera, which is our AI trading assistant. So let's go back. We're going to sell this we're going to take 142. So we'll see if we can't get a fill here at 142. So we change that trade. There it is, 142. And they're willing to pay. They're willing to let me buy it they want me to buy it for 149. And no, I'm not willing to do that, but I will buy it for 142. And so we'll see if we can't get them to come down and talk to us a little bit. All right, let's see what we got here in the chat room. We got a lot of people in here today. Wow, look at that. That's great. So, okay, so what have we got here in the chat room? I'm going to bring this up. And I see we got Maria here, of course. Robert here. Samurai is here. Eric's here. Monkey See, Monkey Do. Mondo Juju. Lewis is here. Michael is here. Meg is here. Wow, Monkey See, Monkey Do again. Trading Nomad, hello. And did you close your trade, Crazy Ivans? I saw you close 2 of yours. Yeah. If you're not familiar with it, we do have a Discord. First of all, if you find anything of value that I do, it would be awesome if you subscribed and hit thumbs up. That's payment enough. Nothing on this channel do we ever charge you for. I never ask you for money. If there's fakers in Discord, if they say it's Rob and Maria and we were asking for money, they're lying. We never ask you for money. You never have to pay for anything. It's all 100% free. The only thing I ask for payment is that you give me a thumbs up. That really matters, believe it or not, and that you subscribe. Also, if you wouldn't mind making something in the comment saying, fun, right? Or addict, if you're a trading addict like me and Maria, that actually helps, believe it or not. If you put something in a comment or two in the in the videos, and I will always respond. I think I responded to every single comment we've ever had. So let's see here. Also, remember, this is educational and this is for entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice. Our lawyers are always on my case about that. This is not financial advice. If you want to see some of these scrolling behind me, by the way, some people ask me, what are they? Those are thumbnails of different videos that we posted. So we don't need to talk to them. So there is you know what? I bet there's a way I can mute that. I need to have grandkids help me run this stuff. There we go. So these, if you're ever wondering, well, where can I see that video? It's on our YouTube channel. And those are just the thumbnails that come by. So this is not entertainment. It's not entertainment sometimes, but it's entertainment. It's just for fun. It's educational. It is not financial advice. No, no, no. You can and will lose all your money. Do not follow me. Do not do exactly what I do. Everything we do, we have different tolerances and whatnot than you do. So, okay. Now, it is 3:36. So, you know what? Let's just go ahead and start this poll. And we're going to see, please vote once. You're only allowed to vote once, okay? And we're going to go with whatever is the majority rule. That's the way this works. Yesterday, it came down to one vote right at the end. So, you know, it was really close. It was really, really, really close. While you're doing that, let's just take a look. Hello, Rob and Maria. Anybody else in here that Maria says you guys are too shy to talk? I don't believe that. Come on, man. I gave the right one, okay? Did you close your Ivans? Did you close your Ivans? Everybody wants to know if I closed the Ivans. I did not. Hello, Rob. Rob, following your advice, disclosed stupidity yesterday for the CI trade. First one, so a couple of QQs at test busy and going fast, so I bought puts instead of selling them. Duh, lost $500. It happens. Yeah, it does, RJ. It absolutely happens. I'm a big believer in disclosing your results to your friends and family, spouse, partner, whatever you want to call it. Anybody that you have a close relationship for, the closer the relationship, the better, grandma, whatever it might be, because it holds you accountable. In addition, you want them to know when you win and when you lose. I suggest you put it in writing. Let me be the example for you. Tyler and Maria are convinced that, or they were convinced that I was out of my mind to let bots trade millions of dollars every single day. They said, you are insane. It won't work. The math is crazy. It doesn't work. And you know what? And then they started saying, oh, I remember down day, down day, down day. Well, it turns out that 58% of the days we are down. 42% up, 42, right? Tyler and I love 42. 42 are down, 58% are up. So if you just remember the down day, there's a lot of them. Yeah, there's a lot of them. And so you have to text them I text them every day at 4:05 saying, this is what happened today on the SPX, not the rest of my account, just on the SPX. And that way, when they say, man, you're losing all the time, say, no, let's go back through the text and see. Also, really cool preview of coming attractions. We just finished 104 days of trading the SPX 0dtes. So I took a trade log. I got all 15,000 trades. I put it into AI. I said, build me a presentation. She built me a presentation. I'm working on the PowerPoint right now. I'm hoping to have it done tonight, and maybe I'll record it tomorrow. But preview of coming attractions, you'll heard on the internet, oh, trading on what's the worst day? Thursdays are by far the worst day. No, it turns out Thursday, you know what? I got to do this. I got to do this the right way. Thursday, as it turns out, Thursday is our best day. Don't tell anybody on the internet. Thursday is our best day. It's crazy, right? High VIX, low VIX, doesn't make any difference. It's always the same. Wow, how about all that, huh? All right, where are we doing on our poll here? Oh, today we're going call. Did we go call? So we went put side yesterday, right? We went put side yesterday. All right, so let's see where we are in the Tasty Trade, right? This is where we want to see. So, by the way, so if you want to know what is a crazy, how do I do a crazy Ivan? So this is my Tasty Trade account. I go 45 to 60 days, so I'd go 57 days. I'd go scrolling on down. If this was a down day, I go to 12 Delta and say right here, I don't like to do the 100s, 200s. I like to do the zeros, 250, 500s, and 750, because that's where the action is, right? So if you go here, not much more action, but it's some, right? So I put that at the zeros, or I would go at the 250s or at the 500s, right? And then what I'm going to do is, Maria taught me this. So this says 188. You don't go down one more. You go down one more than that, and you go 205, right? And then you always get, say, now a credit, I want to get an extra 50 cents for the dog. And so that would be the trade that I would put on. And then what I would do is I would also, you have to be crazy, right? You have to be crazy to do that. The market would have to go down even further and to get a fill. And then I would go ahead and I'd put on a 215 and I would do another one at 225 like that. And I'd ladder them down. So now if the market does start coming down, it picks off my 215, which is still quite a ways down, or 205. Then it picks off my 215, then it picks off my 225, and it just averages in until it stops, right? Until it starts to come back, which it always does. So that's the idea, or it just stops. And I can do 60. The way I do it, never more than 30% of your buying power, okay? This is critical. This is absolutely critical. Never more than 30% of your buying power. No, 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 no. And then you understand that when you're doing these are about $15,000 each. Look at it. They're about $15,000 in buying power. If this is too much for you, just do the MQs. Let's say you got $100,000 in buying power, right? So 30,000 would be 30% would be $30,000. So you would only have two of these. So you'd only want to put on one a day. You'd never, and you really want it to come down, say $300-400 for 300-400 points down day before you'd put that on, and then maybe you'd wait for another 1,000 points down before you put the next one on, right? And remember to take them off at 25%, except if you're a trading addict like me and you don't always take them off at 25%, which is what I should be doing. So this is a trading show. Look at what we got. We're not getting anything. We're not getting any fills. We're not even close because this market's going the wrong way. We love down days, right? And the reason I say that is because that allows you to put on the crazy Ivans. And somebody asked me how much I made last year. It was not quite $1 million I made on the SPX, on the crazy Ivan. So it is a very, very lucrative trade. It's something that I've been doing for 6 years. I love it. And it was all due to Maria. I had originally asked I'm a big fan of Taste Trade, and I had asked Nick Batista and Mike Butler, and gun to your head, you had one trade rest of your life, what would it be? And they said it'd be naked puts 45 to 60 days on the ES. I started doing that for about 6 months, and Maria being, before any back testing or anything, she, to look at her, you never know she's a real back tester, but it turns out that she is. And she created some spreadsheets, and she started going through all the different futures that we could look at. And she said, Rob, you're going to do way better off by, look at that's Maria did, made $4,000 in a 3 a.m. crazy Ivan. She said, you'll be way better off doing the Qs rather than doing the ES. And so, she convinced me. I switched right over, and I never looked back. So it's been, I guess that was 7 years ago we started. Is that right? No, it was in February of 2020 is when we started. And I think maybe it was 6 months later or so that I switched from the ES to the NQs, and I've never looked back. So nice job out of you, Maria. Good job out of you. Okay. So where are we with the poll? Oh, look at that. It went over to the puts, and the calls is 42%. 42% for the calls and 58% for the puts. Right now, the puts are in the lead, and it looks like we're going to be doing the puts. So the puts are in the lead, but we haven't decided yet. We're going to give it a little bit more time. What did we say yesterday? I think I'll let it go till 350. So if you guys want to see exactly how we put these on, which is kind of interesting, I don't know that you've actually seen or I've ever shown here's where we are in the small account. We're at, what is that? $1,400 profit. And the big account, we're at, what is that? 33,000 today. So that's a good day. By the way, last 100 days, some interesting fun facts. The biggest losing day was 41,000. The biggest winning day was 39,000. So they're pretty compatible. We would always expect the winners to be slightly less because, we win more days than we lose, but because we have on the downside, we have stop losses that are greater than 100. So we would expect the variations within the days. When we put things into, so say we do 7 million back tests a weekend, and there we got punched out on the call side. So it means this market's going up, which is, not what we want. Actually, if it goes up, that's okay. Maybe we'll get was that let's take a look. I think that was an SPX. Let's just see. So what got filled here? Yeah, we got punched out on the call side. So that means the market's going up. If the market's going up, it's going to get ready to the short calls, and we're going to get punched down on that side. But if that happens, then maybe we'll get a fill on some of these 104, 109, 142 versus, this is the one right here, these 21 fives. How many of those? I got 3 of those left. 21 fives. If we don't get a fill by the end of the day, I'm going to go, somebody remind me in the chat, and I'll go ahead and get some more out. When you use Options Omega to run your back test every weekend, You were sitting there manually running every scenario you want to test, or is it automated to all run at once? That is a great question, Pacer. And the reality is they have rules against web scraping, right, and automation. So you have to do it by hand. That's the only fair way to do it. And so I have set it up. I do have them set up in advance from a spreadsheet so that I can just click one button and it loads the test. But then I have to do it by hand. It took me 22 hours the first week I did it. Think about this, okay? I'm doing, you know what, you want to watch the market. Well, you can watch the market in real time here while let's get this bad boy down here. So if you want to think about what, how in the world, Rob, do you get to 7 million? And the trick is not how I get up to 7 million. It's how do I get it down to only 7 million? Because there's 390 trading minutes in a day, right? So you take so someone write this down, 390. Then we're going to take 10 premiums. We're going to do $1.45, $1.75, $1.90, $2, $2.25, $2.50, $2.75, $3, $3.25, $3, but whatever. So that's 390 times 10. Then we're going to do 10 different stop losses. So we're going to do 10% stop loss. Maybe we're going to do 50% stop loss, 95% stop loss, 125, 185, 200, 225, 300, whatever it might be, right? Then we're going to do wing widths, 5 wing widths, 10, 20. So you're going to have 390 times 10 times 10 times 10, right? And we're going to have 2 put credit spread, call credit spread on each side. So times that by 2. Then we're going to do 6 months looked back. That's 250 trading days a year, 125 trading days in 6 months. So times it by 125. Then what you're going to have to do is say, well, I've got 2. It's not only put credit spread, call credit spread, but I got EMAs and multiple entry iron condors. So you have to multiply it by 2 again. That's going to give you, in round numbers, if I do that in my head, a boatload of trades. It's actually 95 million. That's what it comes down to. So you got to say, okay, whoa, easy, big fella. Let's go every 7 minutes. Let's cut out some wing widths. Let's cut out some premiums. Let's cut out some stop losses. And let's bring that down, 95 million. Let's bring that down to like 7 million, maybe 5 million some weekends when I'm kind of lazy. And it used to take me 22 minutes to do that. I figured out some ways to do it a lot faster. And I've got it down, 22 minutes. It used to take me 22 hours. Now it takes me about 11 hours to do that. And then it takes me about 2 hours to take off all my trades from last week and put on all my trades for this week. And then it takes me about another 2 hours to go through and make sure that I didn't make any mistakes, which I make every single week. So that's a lot. And then I have to put together the show for a Sunday night. So that's, that takes a lot as well. And you know what? I can't really show you. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can. These are the trades, right, that are going on today. And, I need to just open up I got to open up a new browser here and give you let's see if I can get into the strategies real quick. I'll take that offline just for a second and do that. But so what you can do is just for those of you that are new to the channel and you haven't been following along, here are the trades for the $30,000 account. These are the trades that we're actually putting on. So the first line is entry time, then strategy. The 300 on the first one is a $3 premium, and that's for both try for $3 on the short leg and $3 for the short put and $3 for the short call. Does not include the long. Then AM equals multiple entry iron condor. Then 95 is the stop loss, 50 is the wing width, and 0 is the profit target. Okay, I go through these fast, but you can always back it up, look at it again later. Here they are by P&L. I do 200 or 150 in the $1 million account each week. These are the top 20 because I keep the rest of them for myself. And you can see here there are some EMAs in the second column. But again, the premium is the first column. EMA or the strategy. EMA or multiple entry iron condor is the second column. Stop loss is the third column. Wing width is the fourth column. Time of day is the fifth column. Profit target is the sixth column. And here they are by time. And let's see here. I got them by profitability somewhere. Let's see here. I just had them. There we go. There they are by P&L. There they are by P&L. All right. So if I can, I'm going to try and get these. Let's see here if I can do just give me a second here. I'm going to do a quick search for 1551. 51. Boom. All right. So let's go to, okay. So here are the trades for 1551. And I'm going to just sort for the, dang it. I want the trades. I want the strategies. So these are the trades. We're going to search for 1551 because that's when we're going to put it on. And we're going to go for just the, we just want the $1 million account. And we're going to go to either 100, we'll do $1.80. So $180 times 3 contracts. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put on 180 exponential moving average. That's fine. So we're going to put on either the call side or the put side. That's what we're going to do. What are we going to do here? Right now, it looks like the puts are taking over. It is 350. It is time to rock and roll. So we're going to do the puts. Here we go. Get ready. So look at this. They got a little rock. You can't see it. I got a little rocket button here. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. This is pretty exciting. 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Oh, no. Boom. There we go. I pushed the wrong button. All right. Now let's see if they're going. Whoa. There we go. Look at that. Oh, $1.10. That's all we got. You got to be kidding me. Well, I guess that's why. So we got $1.10. These are on the put side. Is that what we wanted, right? In the poll. Boom, poll's over. And we are in at 68.65. 68.65. So that'll be $3. So we got a $660 swing. We can make 330 or we can lose 330. And this is 68.65. So let's find, we don't want that number in there. This one comes out. Move that. 68.65. 68. Oh, look at this huge drop. That's because they take the controls off on the SIBO. 68. What did I say? 68. I got this trade again. We said we're going to go on the put side, so we want it to stay above 68.65. We don't want that. 68.65. 68.65. 68.65. We want it above 68.65. Boom, right there. Okay. Well, that's okay. We're all right. Let's get this thing out of the way. We don't need that. Remove that. Boom. Goodbye. Adios. See you later. Nice playing. Thank you very much. Okay. So now we got it. Now we know exactly what we want. Let's see if there's any, when you use option made, running back test every weekend, are you sitting there manually where you did that? The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. There's some text. Thank you. Do you mean cash secured puts? Yes. I don't, cash secured puts. These names are thrown around all along. Cash secured puts, naked puts. Naked puts, I'm using buying power, so they're really not secured by cash, but it's a matter of buying power. When I say a $30,000 account, that is a $30,000 buying account. If I say $1 million account, it's $1 million worth of buying power. It really is 68. That seems like a pretty easy number to stay above. I mean, 68, 65, right? I keep clicking on that. 68, 65. That's not it. 68, 65. Well, heck. I don't know why we didn't do more. 68.65 is way down. Yeah, it is 68.65. We just got to stay above that number. Well, we're only 6 points above it. So, all right. How much time we got? It's 5:53. We want to get all the way to 4 o'clock. Do you mean cash? Also, with this Crazy Ivans, you said you like to market to be down 500 points at least. So that is for the actual NASDAQ index, right? I use as NASDAQ futures, NQ, right? That's what I use. So /NQ. I like it to be down 300 points. 300 points and I'm in. That's typically my number. I can do 65 of them right now. What did I have? Like 20? Not even, right? I got 3. Of course, I sold a lot today. It's 12, 15. So I got 20 right now. And I'm going to get rid of one for sure today. I'm going to get rid of this one today. I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to get rid of it. So you know what? Let's do one. Let's replace this order. Let's take this up to 146. We're going to try. I mean, it's a trading show. Let's do some trading for gosh sakes. Can't just do SPX. There we go. Boom. All right. So that trade is in. All symbols working. There it is. Okay. Next, let's go back to the chart. See where we are. All right. The futures you are selling puts on is NQH6. In Thinkorswim, they have NQH6. You know if it's the same. No, it is not the same. H26. Yes. The way that the futures work, and this is a great question by Malachi, by RJL, is the NQ / means it's futures. Get it? Because it's leaning into the future. That's what that means. That's why it's /. And then NQ means that's the NASDAQ. The Q, it's the QQQ basically. And then H, there's 8 times per year that the futures, it's just traditional the way they did it because they started with commodities, corn, soybeans, live hogs, live cattle, fatty pork, whatever, orange juice. And then, so they broke it into 8 particular groups for the year. And then the year follows that. So you have that / means it's futures. NQ means it's E or ES, or GC is gold, or, whatever it might be. NG, what is it? I forget natural gas, but whatever it is. And then the letter tells you which 8 periods of the year it is that you're trading. And then in Thinkorswim, it's 2, 6, and in Tasty, it's just 6, because hopefully you're able to discern which of the 10 years you are in at this time, or around it. So, all right. Are you using your own server to store all the data for Vera or sort through? I'm thinking AWS or something would be expensive. No, we just use the $20 a month ChatGPT. That's it. And Maria just started a project called Vera, and she just started saying, here is NVIDIA stock. Tell me about it. And she, Vera starts producing a report, and Maria says, well, I want to have a chart. And she adds a chart. Tell me the VIX. Tell me the blah, 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 blah. I want to sell naked put, or tell me some good strategies to do. And then Maria will, and the report comes back, and Maria, and then say, make some suggestions. Say, Vera, suggest to me other things that I might be interested in looking at if I'm interested in trading the stock. And she said, well, maybe you're blah, 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 blah. And Maria used to ask me this stuff, and I said, I have no idea a lot of this stuff. One time she said, tell me what the black pools or deep pools or some of the pools. I said, I don't even know what those are. And Maria said, what are those? And they said, she said, Vera says, well, that's where the big, what do you call it? The big traders are trading, and the amounts and the directions they're trading. We say, yeah, tell us all about that. And she added that to the report. And Maria's always telling her, dumb it down, dumb it down. So that's why she used to call it the triple D, the dumb down and dirty report, because she wants it simple, right? Simple. And then what Maria does, which is genius, which I never would have thought of, rather than trying to describe to Vera, Maria's got, lots of positions. It's not like me where I just got 2 or 3. She's got lots and lots and lots of positions. Let's keep an eye on this. Hey, wait a second. What's going on here? What's going on here? We want to stay above. What do we say? We want to stay above that blue line at 68. Okay, it's still up there. So Maria's got a bunch of positions. She just takes a screenshot, right, and loads it into ChatGPT. And then ChatGPT says, oh, this is what you got. And Maria says, what should I be worried about? And they'll say, oh, this one's getting in trouble. This one you might want to think to adding to. This one you might want to roll. This one you might want to close, blah, blah, blah. And then she and Maria have this ongoing dialogue, which I'm no longer a part of. I mean, she used to come to me all the time, and she'd get pissed at me because a lot of things I just didn't know. And it turns out ChatGPT can go out and first of all, just think of it as going out and gathering all the information, bringing it back, and never forgetting. And then always remembering how you want things better. And if you want, if you're afraid it is, sometimes it will forget stuff, is just say, build me a canvas, put everything on a canvas, which is considered like a Word file, and then download it to your downloads and keep it there. That way, when you start each day, you can say, here's the canvas from yesterday. And normally she'll remember where you are, and that's great. So like the live chat, thank you, Porsche guy. Say, are you using your own server? I already talked about that. 390M. Don't know what that means. Let's look like it would be a call spread. When you sell options on different NQ futures months, they are tied to different underlying futures prices. That is correct. That's Maria. That is 100% correct. Just in case you wanted to see that in real time, if you're in the Qs, for example, see that the HQ right here, right? See this? This is the price. So now if you roll down to the NQMs, to the M's, look at the different price. It's at 25,357. It's 200 points lower than this one, right? And then you can go down to the next one, which is September 18th, and that's the U6, and that's at 25,577. So, I mean, it's a huge, it's like 400 points difference between those two futures contracts. So it does make a big difference. Thank you, Maria. So let's take a look. So your maximum risk is $50, and you got 1.5 for that, right? No, my max risk is, I don't know I don't know exactly. We did a stop loss of 90%. So I'm going to be making 180, and my max loss would be 180 plus 90% of 180. So I would lose the 180 credit that I already got. And then, it's 100, it was $1.10, right? So I'd lose the $1.10 that I got. This is the number down here, right? No, this is not the number. Let's get this out of there. This is the number, right? I think that's the number. So we want to be sure that we're not messing this up. Oh, there it is. How about that? I didn't even watch it closely enough. How about that? Does Robinhood support options on NQ? I doubt it. I doubt it. Look at that. Winner, chicken dinner. Yesterday we won $400. Today we won, what did we win? 310? 310 bucks is what we won. And so that's great. That's the way it works. And that will even out between the puts and the calls day after day. It evens out over time. So how about that? We won the full premium. That's the way it is. It's do or die on every single trade that I make. Oh, you know what? I haven't even been looking. Let's take a look. And how did we do today on the big account? Somebody do the math for me. Somebody do the math. I'm going to say 23. Is that 23,000, 33,000, something like that? Mario usually is in there, or Malachi, or somebody's in there that will do the math for me on that one. And winner, chicken dinner. I won the full premium. We won 330. Look at this. And what did we win on the small account? Oh, that's about $2,015. Is that right? No, that can't be right. We never won. I don't think we've ever won more than $1,400 in a day in the small account. Man, I love this. If you don't love trading, someone says trading is so stressful. Nah, not really. It's as long as you understand that it's going to be lots and lots and lots of trades, right? Trade small so it doesn't matter. Whatever your risk appetite is, just trade small and trade lots of them, right? So, oh, look at that. Really? Somebody's got this. Trading's got that. 33,428. Ooh. Maybe I'll be taking Maria to Sizzler tonight. That'd be pretty sweet. Get myself one of those chopsteaks. That would be awesome. For the CIs I have done, compared to the prices of the options between the 300 drop and the prices I entered on after the drop, and found they matched well to what the 16 and 18 delta put prices were before the drop. So you can use those for your limit prices. Yeah, I don't use I should use a limit price on the darn Qs, but I'm so greedy. So it's a trading show. Let's trade. Look at this mess. So this thing is dropped. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I cannot do it. I know I'm greedy. There's no reason for me to stay in these. It just pisses me off so much, because I could have gotten out at 150, right? Let's do this. I'll go in. I will go in just because it's you guys. I'll go in for 150, but that's it. If they don't take me by 5 o'clock, then I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to close that order so it doesn't get filled at 6 o'clock when they come in and the market jumps up, 200 points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that. I'm going to do a little education here. Oh, you know what? Wasn't showing the screen. I'm going to do a little education here. I'm going to change this order from good to cancel. Let's change this to a day order, right? So that's going to expire at 5 o'clock today. So when the futures market closes, it's going to expire and it's not going to reopen. If I put GTC, it's good to cancel. So I'm going to put that in. Boom, there it is. And so there it is. And now you see it's not, if it's good to cancel, it's there. If it's blank, it's a little tricky. If it's blank, that means it's just for the day. And the day for futures is going to end, at 5 o'clock. So that's what we're doing there. Any other questions? Great day, Rob and Maria. Thank you. Mr. Market Energy, is that who you are? Yeah. Rob, why does Option Mega not have a tab for showing the profit or loss so you will see at a glance your profit or loss? That's what this is. That's what this is. This is a real-time profit. They have a real-time profit and loss. And I'm not showing you all the metrics in here, but it's real-time profit and loss. And then you can see these are all the trades I put on. These are all the winners. So if you want to go real slow, you can see all the winners that I don't give you. And then all it's cutting down here, it starts on the losers and it goes page after page. There's lots more pages. But you get the flavor for, we're talking about a lot of trades. We're talking about a lot of trades. So that's about 34 grand. That's a nice piece of cheese. And here we are. And by the way, another thing that you probably need to understand, darn it, is that the way this works is the SPX, it ends the day at 3:59.59. At 4 o'clock exactly, it begins the next day. And it actually is open until 4:15. So you might say, well, wow, I see the SPX trading. I thought the market closes at 4. The market does close that for the day. It closes at 4. Then it keeps going. The SPX starts. So at 4 o'clock exactly and 4:01, that's the next day. And the reason they do that is so the big funds, they can equalize their account, because a lot of people have what's called MOC, or market on close orders, where they're going to close it at whatever the market is at the last second of the day. And so that's why you'll see gigantic, triple, quadruple, 10 times volume on the last second. And so one of the things that they want to do is, rather than have that go crazy, is they try and give those funds 15 minutes to balance out their things. And that leads me to my next thing, is that we are trading real money, right? We're fighting the big boys. Hedge funds are the enemy. Other retail traders are not that big of a problem. And if you want to know what I do and you want to explain it, someone says, what are you doing in trading? Like SPX, and you're doing robots, and you're doing backtesting and some kind of automation and, AI, and what the heck is it? Just say I'm a sheep herder. It's what it is. Okay. Simple. I'm going to explain it to you simply. We sell premium. That's all we do. We want to sell premium for the most money possible, right? The highest amount. So you got a bunch of sheep over here. These are our competition, hedge funds primarily, right? And they're selling premium over here, and they're selling a bunch of it. And when they sell a bunch of it, the price goes down. A $4 premium goes down to $2. So what do? We go over here. We go over here where they're not around, and we're selling that premium for $3.80 and $4. Over here, they're selling it for $2. Over here, we're selling it $4. That gives us a mathematical edge, right? They're still going to make money, but we can make a lot more money because we're the only ones over here. The problem is this freaking herd's moving all the time. They're moving constantly, right? So someone says, well, you're crazy to give away the trades. I said, not really. These trades I'm giving away, they're only good for the bananas will last longer than these trades. 5 days from now, these trades are no good. That's why we backtest every single week. About 20 to 25% of these trades, next week, they'll be all gone. We won't be using them. So if you're not watching me at Sunday at 6, good freaking luck. Because if you are trading where the herd is, you're not going to get squat diddly, right? You want to be over here where the herd ain't. And that's all it is. So when someone says, well, what are you doing? AI and robots and some crazy guy with a red tie on TV. What's that all about? By the way, Maria made me change to a blue shirt today. I don't know if I like it or not. It's not bad. So what are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Say, I'm selling where they ain't, right? The sheep are over here. I'm over here. Sheep are over here. I'm over here. Pass the turkey. That's all it is. That's all we do. There is no genius to it. They say, well, what about the charts? Don't look at the charts. What about the Trump? Don't care about Trump. What about the war? Not interested. Well, we're interested in a little bit in the war. But what about oil, Bitcoin, blah, 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 earnings, NVIDIA, blah, 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 blah. No, that's for the sheep. The sheep are moving around. They're worried about the charts and everything. And they're thinking, oh, they're going crazy at night. Doesn't matter. We just watch where the sheep are. We just want to sell where the sheep ain't. So if the sheep go over here, then we're going to go over here. This is simple stuff, right? There's people say, oh, Rob, you're a genius. You really got to, you know about the market. You can predict. I can't predict anything. All I know is if the sheep are over here, we sell over here because we get twice as much money. There is no magic to this. Now, the trick is to figure out where the sheep are going to be next week. I understand. That's the problem. But once you get a hang of that, that's just called backtesting. That's all it is. So, all right, that's enough of my soapbox for the day. Let's see if there's any more comments here. So what is the accounting equity on which you are comfortable trading $1 million buying power on MEC, EMA? I would be comfortable with $100 million, with $1 million. In other words, if I had $1 million in buying power, what I would do is I'll tell you exactly what I do. Whatever my number is, it's immaterial, right? I got lots and lots of accounts. I take 30% and I hold that for the Qs. By the way, if I could do 100% for the Qs, I would. For the crazy iPhone, I do 30%. Why? Because if the market comes down, the broker, whether it's Schwab or IBKR or Tasty Trade or Fidelity or JP Morgan, they're going to double or triple your buying power. So you're going to go from 30% to 60 or 90%. And you don't want that phone call that says, hey, Rob, this is Tasty Trade. We need a margin call, and you need to get us $4 million, and you have, let's see here. You got 30 minutes to give us $40 million. 30 minutes to give $40 million, or 40 minutes to give $3 million. Well, yeah. You got 40 minutes to give $3 million. Ask me how I know that call happened. Don't ask me, because it has happened, right? I never want that to happen again. So what you do is you only use 30%. So now we used to go to sleep. Maria and I'd be like, oh my God. If it goes down, we're done. If it goes down, they're going to get a margin call. Phone's going to ring. What are we going to do? Oh. Now we only use 30% of our buying power. So what do? We're sleeping like, oh, please, Lord, let it go down. I don't want a war, but please let it go down 500 points. Please, Lord, please. Let volatility double the price. So not only are the sheep going to be over here selling for $2, we're going to be over here selling for $8 because it will have doubled, right? That's what we're hoping for. That is the genius of this. We'll be selling those crazy Ivans for $8 for four times as much. And so we love it. And Tasty Trade will say, hey, we're doubling your buying power. We're tripling your buying power. Say, hey, go right ahead. Go right ahead. We had it at 30. If you can take it to 90, we don't care. We still got 10. We can do more crazy Ivans. And that's where you really make a killing, 3 times a year. Look, war is terrible. People get killed. It's awful. I get it, right? I get it. I don't root for war, but I do root for down days, right? I just don't want them to be caused by war. Down days are great for us. And once that you get that mindset, right? Then at Thanksgiving dinner, you tell them you're a sheep herder and you're just hoping that a flood comes along and nobody gets hurt. You're hoping for a gigantic down day in the market. And they're going to sit back and say, what in the world? How can that possibly work? And you're going to just take 5 minutes and explain to them, sheep here, us here, we get 3 times more if the market goes down. Pass me the gravy. That's all it is. It's so easy. It's really easy stuff. But it's easy like chess is easy. I can teach you in 30 minutes how to play chess. I can spend a lifetime and not teach you how to be a great chess player. And I certainly am not a great chess player. So, all right, that's all for today. We had a lot of fun. Let's go tomorrow. Let's do the voting again tomorrow. I think we got something here that's kind of fun. Let's see. No one take from the other tabs. We dropped pretty good right before the close. When are we going to watch Maria trade live? Yeah, when are we going to watch Maria trade? Maria, you're out there. When are you going to watch you trade live? What cost for the bots, algo, backtest, and automation to put the trades on for a small account owner? What's the steps? We have a 5-part series where you can see everything that we do. I do not know the actual price. I paid retail. So, hey, here is my advertisement for the day. Besides that, it's always important to drink apple cider vinegar and iced tea, is that we have a 50% coupon in every single video for Options Omega. You get 50% off. They give us $15. Our dog is Barbie. She's a big poodle. And we use that $15 to buy her treats and or toys. So she would really appreciate it if you'd use our coupon. Then in Tasty Trade gives $150 if you open an account with them. And we give that $150 to the Humane Society, which helps, dogs, cats, and other pets. So if you want to help dogs, cats, and other pets, then use our referral coupon to open an account at Tasty Trade. I think they also give you like 4% as a bonus when you sign up. So it's a pretty tasty deal, if you will. But I don't know the exact numbers. But if you contact Tasty and if you use my coupon, they will give you 50% off. Watching me trade is boring. No, that's Maria. Okay, that's not true. It's very fun to watch Maria trade. She made a fortune in NVIDIA today, trading options. And good Q 1956. Blue shirt is cool. Maria is right. Ugh, great. I'll never hear the end of that. Thanks, Malachi. And Two Franc says, thank you, Rob. All right. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Let's get out of here. It's 16:13. It's pretty late. I will post this video in just a second. I did record it. Thank you very much. Say goodbye, Maria. And that's the end of the day. Goodbye, Maria.